Iyar Pahayar was a native of Kaveri Pumbattinam. He was a Vaishya by caste. So he had a practice to invite Shiva Bhaktas to his house, worship them with faith and devotion, and give them all they wanted. He had taken a vow never to say a no to what a Shiva Bhakta wanted. Lord Shiva was pleased with his devotee. He wanted to reveal his greatness to the entire world. So the Lord, in the disguise of a Brahmin with sacred ashes smeared across all over his body, came to this Nayanar's house. The Nayanar welcomed the Brahmin with great joy. The Brahmin said, "O noble soul, you are far famed for your charitable nature. Learning that none returns empty handed from your house, I have come to your house to ask a gift. I shall disclose it to you if you promise to give me whatever I wanted." The Nayanar was extremely happy and he did agree to it. The Brahmin at once revealed what he wanted. "It is the gift of your wife." The Nayanar had no difficulty at all in granting this. The supreme devotee of the Lord that he was, he did not stoop to even doubt the credentials of the Brahmin, whom he thought appeared to be a Shiva Bhakta. And he did have a great unquestioning nature of devotion. So in order to fulfill the Bhakta's wishes, on the plea that involved something which is unrighteousness for him, worshipping the guest, which is the guest is God over here, was a greater law than the moral codes. The Nayanar went inside, informed his wife of what and all had happened. His wife was shell-shocked, but she did regain her composure. To a chaste wife, the husband is a god. Whatever he commands is a law and dharma. She readily agreed to follow the Brahmin guest as his wife. Nayanar came out as his wife and asked the Brahmin to accept the gift. The Brahmin, however, feared the wrath of the wife's relatives and asked this Nayanar to accompany him till they were safely out of town and out of danger. The Nayanar agreed to do so, armed himself to protect the Brahmin. Then they proceeded to go. In the meantime, the relatives of the Nayanar's wife came to know about the whole story and they were furious. They followed the Nayanar and his party and threatened the Brahmin with death unless he abandoned his desire. The Brahmin pretended to be scared. The Nayanar's wife, however, assured him that the Nayanar was capable of defeating all of them. The Nayanar was in fact ready to fight. The relatives endured to convince the Nayanar of this righteous act, and they found that they couldn't really do anything. They preferred to die in his hands than submit to the shame. The Nayanar at once pounced upon them and chopped off their heads. The Nayanar was happy that through the grace of Lord Shiva, he had succeeded in keeping his vow of worshipping his devotee. Proceeded further with the Brahmin and his wife. When they reached the temple of Tiruchangadu, the Brahmin asked the Nayanar to leave and return. The Nayanar prostrated to the Brahmin and turned his steps homeward. As he has hardly proceeded a few yards on his homeward journey, the Brahmin called the Nayanar aloud. Thinking that there might be another attack from somebody else, the Nayanar hastened to where the Brahmin was. But to his amazement, he found that the Brahmin had disappeared and his wife was standing alone. He searched here and there for the Brahmin and he was extremely worried that he could not be found. Just then, Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati appeared in the sky, blessed the Nayanar and his wife, stating that they were extremely pleased with the devotion which the Nayanar has shown to their Bhaktas, and both of them were to reach the abode of Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati very soon. With these words, the Lord disappeared. The Nayanar and his wife did reach the Lord's abode. They rejoiced there. The Nayanar's relatives who died at their hands also attained the lotus feet of the Lord. Thank you, and we will see you in the next Nayanar story.